Welcome to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast,
where we've flipped the script with our groundbreaking modus operandi to bring you real, relevant, and relatable tactics and techniques to master your own play to win mindset.
Talk about a superpower. It's time to iron your cape.
What we know for sure is what got you here won't get you there.
You can't see the spinach in your own teeth.
And finally, hang on, because this one is really deep. Once you realize that you are the traffic, everything makes complete and unadulterated sense.
Welcome to the Edge, where playing not to lose is not an option. So one of my favorite times of year, ironically, because I don't really care about this sport any other time, is March Madness. I love doing brackets. I love that I know nothing and I go into brackets. So this year, Kara, as you know, we are in 4 brackets.
We are.
Right. So we have with different family members and different groups of friends and such. And I think we're doing 3 men, 1 women is how we're doing it. Right. So I just love it. I think the competition is fun. I like the upsets. I love the stories that go along with it, everything. It was hilarious though, because Karen, so we're in one with Karen's larger family, and I don't know how many people are there. What place are you in right now, Karen?
Oh, I'm dead last.
I know. So I was wondering what place, because then we know how many people are in it.
I think there's 20 people in it.
20 people in it, right? So anyway, Karen sends out this big text message and says, here is all the final picks. And I'm looking through the list and I'm like, Iowa? Who would pick Iowa? And then Karen had sent out, and here's who picked what. And it turned out I picked Iowa, which cracked me up because I didn't even recall it. So I'm like, not feeling super comfortable with my bracket at that point, but it's already submitted. And then I'm like, you know what? The Hawkeyes are cool. I like the Hawkeyes. And then on a different tangent, it made me wonder what a Hawkeye was, and if it really was like an eye. But anyway, and then I had to look it up, and it's really the Cyclones. So just out of the gate, Iowa Cyclones, didn't even know who they were. They were my pick. And needless to say, I am doing very poorly in that particular pool.
But you're beating me, just for the record.
It's a dead last. I think it's hilarious because we're like, we're doing pools, and then we're losing them. But anyway, so Karen and I thought it'd be fun to talk about the March Madness and how it is a reflection of life.
It is such a reflection of life. And here's the funny, like, there's so many parallels. And so I like March Madness because of the upsets. I love the stories, and I love the Cinderella teams. And ironically enough, in the first round, I did really, really well. And the reason was because I picked so many upsets. And, just there's a college called McNeese. And I was just like, I got a good feeling about them, right? And they win. But I picked a lot of the upsets in the first round. And that's the excitement kind of thing that I like. And that's it's the excitement that I like, and the energy that I like, and the Cinderella-ness that I like, and the stories that I like. And I'll be honest with you, Jen, right now, I'm bored. There's number 1 seeds, and I want them all to lose. So now, granted, I do have Tennessee, who is number 2 as my final team. So I'm still technically in it. That's my last team left. But I want every number 1 seed to lose now, because I don't feel like it's fun. I feel like it's just boring. Who wants to see number 1 seeds win? It does not mean anything about madness to me when all 4 number 1 seeds are in as of right now.
So as we relate this to metaphors for life and mirroring life, it's how much sometimes does predictability create boredom? Right. So in theory, when you look at your number 1 seeds, you think, well, they're number 1. They have the probability and the predictability that they most likely will win. yes. I mean, not officially, but let's just use that as the frame, right? So where does predictability create boredom in your own life? Where have you lost a lot of zest, even though you know the rhythms, rituals, and routines that are set forth, that sort of are givens that you will do well with? There are givens that you might be number one, or givens that you have, that you do something in a standardized ways that although you can have good success, it could get a little boring.
But Jen, think about that, right? Because that's very similar to people that crave certainty and people that crave uncertainty. Like when you were just talking about predictability, like I had like a sick feeling in my stomach.
Of course.
I hate predictability. And although sometimes, I like comfort of things, I get crazy with predictability and routine. And so right now, what started out as March Madness and excitement is just like, all right, there's these number one seeds. All these people pick these number one seeds. And I think to myself, self, are they picking the number one seeds? Like, how did you approach it? Maybe it's like, how do you approach your bracket? Do you pick the number seed because you want to win? Do you pick the number one seed because of an emotional tie? Do you pick, I don't mean the number one seed, I mean like you pick your winners. Or the emotional tie? Do you pick the your winners because of excitement and randomness? I am the picture of excitement and randomness, and I don't care about winning. I would rather the excitement and playing this whole game with my family and with your brother and with our friends, because I like the connection and the excitement. I don't care if I win. Like I picked Texas A&M in one of the polls. I mean, one of them, right? It's just like, yeah, let's just pick them. However, the connection, like I've loved Tennessee forever, like 30 something years. And that had to do with women's basketball. And now it's spread over to men's basketball. So I want Tennessee. I want Tennessee all over the place every time. But that's an emotional thing. So if you figure out how this compares to life, what's your emotional connection? What are the things that are important? And it's funny because you might not know, like, I don't care about winning anymore. I already won.
So before we continue, is Tennessee still in?
Yeah, men's and women.
Okay, great. I think I have them too. But so I think that's really interesting. The other thing that I think is a fascinating metaphor is, what if we actually banked on more upsets in life? Right? So when we look at the bracket and we're like, oh, let's upset this. This is probably a low probability that this will happen, but we're going to put it in there to help us with the bracket, embrace the madness and go forward. What if we did that with other areas of our life, where maybe it's something we really want, but we're not sure we could do it, or we don't know if we have the time for it? What if we started banking on creating more upset in our own life?
All right. I'm in.
Right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good parallel to be able to look at if we're sort of looking at how does this work with life. How you do March Madness is a great reflection on how you approach things. Do you want to bank on more upsets? Do you want to have more madness? Do you want to get rid of boredom? Do you want certainty in winning? It's all super fun. Super fun. And I just love this season because, like I said, I'm not a big sports watcher, but when it comes down to it, for the big moments, I do enjoy it a lot.
I know that, and I love that you love this time of year. And although you love the results, my guess is you probably didn't have, Jen and I are in different places right now, probably did not have two televisions on with several games. I did. But anyway, you know, Jen, what you were just saying also, as we wrap up here, made me think about non-attachment, right? So this is it, NATO, not attached to the outcome. So how could you bring that philosophy? I'm not attached to outcomes. I'm attached to fun. I'm attached to the experience. And I'm having it. Although I'll be honest, I'm a little bored right now with the number ones.
I love it. All right. So go embrace the madness. We have just another few days until we find out who wins it all. Right, Care?
April 7th.
And I will tell you this, it's not Iowa. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast.
Craving more? Of course you are.
Check out our website at kickstartyouredge.com,
where we fire you up, fan the flames of your competitive edge culture, and ignite your tenacious pursuit of an all-out play-to-win mindset.